welcome back to another video. I am Ramona, and this is going to be a little video about what is one of your most unpopular opinions, because I do like hearing other people talk about things. I like reacting to them as well, but I like people's opinions. It's fun. So the first one is, weed is a gateway drug. Personally, I think that kind of depends on the person, but it's an opinion. That people need to fuck off with this gay marriage hate thing. I don't even know what that's about. This is a few years ago, so I'm just going to warn you now. That robots might take over humans one day. I don't know if it is popular or not. Well, right now it's a very big issue, a big story. People are talking about the whole AI fiasco, phenomenon, whatever you want to call it. That special awards that are reserved for people of a certain ethnicity are doing a better job of keeping racism alive than the KKK. Wow. Someone replies with, I absolutely agree. Many of them exist either because they were created in times that were actually had to be segregated, or in situations where the group feels like it's not being properly recognized. Since the latter is absolutely subjective, it's not surprising that many may spawn from it. Yeah, I kind of agree. I can't stand when people share accomplishments on social media. I feel like they're fishing for compliments and pats on the back. I share my achievements with close friends and family. That's it. That's mostly because they ask. Not just on social media, just in general. Yeah. I think we live in a time where people want the validation. People really, really need and desire the look at me syndrome. Unfortunately, social media gives that to them in spades. So, ooh, here's one. Benedict Cumberbatch is ugly and untalented. And someone else says he has a silly name, but he makes really good eggs. I like him as an actor. I think he's pretty talented as an actor. I don't find him that attractive, though. I'm with you on that one. There's really no good reason to raise severely mentally handicapped children. Bad for parents, bad for siblings, pointless quality of life for child in question. I feel bad about this because I have friends with special needs kids, but I guess I just don't get it. That is definitely an opinion. I'm not going to share my thoughts on that because I basically don't want to get hate mail. Other people say, I actually agree. I totally get what people mean when they say they just still have the feelings and still deserve a chance. I've always felt this way too. Somebody else says, I'm probably going to be scrutinized for saying this, but I've always felt that it would be better on everyone if severely mentally handicapped children just died early on in infancy rather than have to live the rest of the life that they do. That's a hard opinion. What do you think? I think people should chill out privacy. What? I think people should chill out privacy. The government has less info on you than what you release to the public. Come on, look at Facebook sometime. I think it was probably true a little while ago, but probably not so much now. Although there are a lot of people that overshare, so. Let's see. Student loan debt should not be forgiven. You signed the paper, you agreed to the terms, no one forced you. Don't complain now because you have to pay back what you agreed to pay back. I completely agree. I paid back my student loan. Wasn't not much because I didn't finish college, but we all got to pay our debts. You make the debt, you pay it. America. I personally believe that we need to make it so that idiots stop breeding or breed less. Maybe some sort of reversible surgery at birth that makes breeding impossible. And then you're given a series of tests at 18 that once passed grant you a free surgery. I've had a thought like this before. Like, I honestly, not forcibly, but why not let people sterilize themselves if they want to? There are some people that should, like, because, I live in an area where benefits are really given to people who produce more offspring, whether they can afford them or not. And I'm kind of in line with that. I kind of think that could work. This one says, I think newborn orphans should be raised by the military to be perfect soldiers. Well, maybe not so much. Babies, among other people, must be free to be transported to other countries where they are more needed to encourage more sustainable population and economic growth. China kind of did that and failed. I don't know. I mean, you'd have to do the parents, and that's kind of an unpopular, yeah. Wow. Overpopulation. is our biggest problem. This next person says, can't wait for those debates to start. Bacon is gross. Oh my God. That is a very unpopular opinion, and you're probably going to hell for that one. Forced diversity is bullshit, such as when applying for a job. Why the fuck should a guy less qualified for a job get it just because you have too many white, black, Asian, etc. people? Same thing with a woman getting a job because they need to hire a woman because there are too many males, vice versa. Gender, race, ethnicity should have no fucking influence when getting a job. It should just be a person best suited for the job, not some bullshit diversity bullet. Or billet. Sorry, I read that wrong. Meritocracy, that's kind of what this country, US, was based upon. I don't think so anymore. I understand the fact that you want to have more diversity in your workplace or your whatever, but along those lines of workplace, you also want the best freaking people. You want people who are going to show up to work, that are capable, that are competent, that know the job, that want the job. It's a balance there. Everything made by Apple sucks, and I refuse to use their garbage. Well, okay. League of Legends is boring to watch. I've never even played it, so I really shouldn't answer that. If you are poor, over 25, don't have a physical or mental handicap, then your poverty is your fault. Ooh, there's a burn. That humans are evil. I am a social worker. I cannot go around saying that. I agree. Humans are evil. I really think so. I think USA has many negative things about it that makes it a bad country to live in, like how the police get away with stuff, lack of gun laws, health care. We are best way of thinking, and rich people get richer, money directs the government. You could learn a little from more socialistic countries. Of course, no country is perfect, but I feel like things are going downhill and aren't as good as people think it is. Having the government shut down isn't exactly a good thing. Rooting for Bernie for president, but I don't think one man can change a country that much in time and at his age. Again, this was a thread from a few years ago. Yeah, kind of poignant for now, but Chipotle is fucking awful, and I will never eat their food ever again. If you want a burrito, go to Taqueria and get something real. If you want to shit your pants all night, go to Chipotle and get a soggy, overstuffed burrito that falls apart as you're eating it and tastes like rubber. I've never even been to Chipotle. I don't live near one, so I'm kind of at a loss for what to comment about that one. Sorry. This person says, I gladly pay more taxes, up to 60%, to have better health care and free education in this country. No one is stopping you. You are allowed to pay more taxes. It's there. You can do that. You really can. No one's stopping you. Most curbside recycling is stupid and pointless. I've actually heard that before, that recycling really doesn't do as much as it's supposed to. I don't know. This one says, I fucking hate Friends. Oh my goodness. It was an okay show. I never watched it when it was on. I always watched it in reruns. It was okay. It's not great. Oh man, I'm going to get shit for this, but I think suicide is selfish. I understand the pain and suffering a victim must be going through and how it must be easy to end it once, but for all, but think about it for just 1 second. You're looking for a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Depression is treatable. It's the most treatable of the mental illnesses. When you off yourself, how could you not think about all the people you are hurting by doing so? You've ended your own suffering, but you've precipitated the suffering of your loved ones. I actually said that in another video. The pain, you're just passing the pain on to someone else. This person says, I'm not a perfect lover. I guess that's an unpopular opinion. Well, I don't want to find out personally. Yeah. Let's see. I enjoyed the Star Wars prequels, all of them. Hells yes. I really do enjoy the prequels. They're not great. I'm not saying they're great. The writing, the dialogue, I think we can all agree is definitely not top notch. But for the time and how awesome it was, I still prefer the prequels to any of the sequels. I don't even consider the sequels canon because they're so awful. But I actually do love the prequels. I really do. They have some of the best music, some of the best battles. I was one of those people that camped outside the theater every single time one of them came out. I I was in there when Yoda walked into the room to fight, and the theater was so it just people rose to their feet clapping and screaming. That's how excited we were. It was a phenomenon that will probably never be duplicated, and I love the sequels. Unabashedly, I love the sequels. The prequels. Oh God. Was that a Freudian slip? Holy shit. Teacher here. Teachers should get away with too much blame when students fail. Teachers get away with too much credit when students succeed. I see what you did there. You're taking both sides. Okay. Automation will make people obsolete. A lot of people can only have skills in easily automated fields, and progress waits for no man. We shouldn't be attempting to hold back progress for the sake of the people who will be replaced by it. We shouldn't leave them homeless or hungry, though. I support a federal living wage for unemployable individuals. Don't we already have that? Yeah, we kind of already have that. But so double whammy opinions, I guess. I get the opinion this person is not super familiar with. Okay. As an American, I am sick and tired of hearing about gay rights, same-sex marriage, rainbow pride, and everything else. I cannot believe we are devoting so much time and energy to what amounts to 2 to 3% of the population. Again, this was a few years ago. It's gone up, I think, now to like up to possibly 15%. The last time I checked. While this is all going on, people are being murdered for being black. Churches are being burnt down, and mental illness, homelessness, and many veterans are not getting the help they need. The police are slowly being I can't even say the word, to the point where we have to put cameras on them to make sure they behave. Our own government is still trying to figure out how to spy on us without getting caught. This is so quaint. Like I said, this is from a few years ago, and oh my God, it's almost, it's so naive and quaint reading some of these opinions now. Wow. See, this is like a time capsule. Look at it that way. I'm annoyed, but never mind, I'm not going to read that one. Oh, it's about Facebook, and truth is, I share this opinion. I don't think Emma Watson is that interesting or that great of an actress. Holy shit, she is a terrible actress. I will die on this hill. She cannot act. She plays the same character, and there's a lot of them. Don't get me wrong, I have a whole list of actors and actresses that play the same freaking character. But of course, she's made more money than I have, so I can't fault her for that. But she is not a good actress. I don't know if she's interesting or not. I really don't care enough, but because she's an actor, so that's basically what I judge her on. One unpopular opinion we always see on Reddit is that stupid people shouldn't be allowed to breed, or that people should just get a license before having kids. My unpopular opinion is that the people, mostly men, who are the biggest proponents of this sort of selective breeding based on intelligence, are they themselves intelligent but otherwise undateable and just want to reduce competition from other more attractive males. In their fantasy, a world without frat boys and a-holes would force all the hot chicks to have no choice but to acknowledge them and how nice they are. I suppose that's an opinion. Actually, the whole stupid people began with eugenics. Margaret Sanger, well, they didn't begin with her. She popularized it, and you kind of needed to know a little bit more about why they were sterilizing people and wanted what they considered what's the word? People they didn't want breeding usually had to do with the color of their skin and their intelligence and other things, but it was a very racist movement. It wasn't, it's been moved to the, stupid people, but you should really find out more about where it really started. Planned Parenthood. That's all I'm saying. Abortion should be illegal up to the day the baby is born. Even if the baby is due tomorrow, you should be able to abort it. Once it is born, no. This provides the most clear-cut line between a potential human and an actual human. I completely disagree. I have my own stance on abortion rights, but if you carry the baby to full term and it's going to be born the next day, that's technically a child. And yeah, I'm not going any further there. I'm gonna get some heat for that one. I have nothing against gay people marrying, but I don't think they should be allowed to do it in churches. Okay. Females are inferior to males in almost every way except their ability to deceive and lie. I would totally be fine with it if they were replaced by sex robots because I find 80% of women physically unappealing anyway. Wow. And someone says, well, that certainly is unpopular, I'll give you that. And someone else says, who hurt you? Yeah. That random movie reference all the times are really annoying. It happens a lot, but I think someone is funny, but their joke comes straight out of a movie. I think I read that wrong because that doesn't make much sense. I've always felt that people would be much happier if growing up if they were taught to better manage their expectations of themselves. We're in a time where everyone has to be special and go on to do great things, but simply put, some people are meant to do nothing more than be garbage men, gardeners, etc. And if they are more accepting of that, then I think they would be happier overall. I don't disagree, but I can't 100% agree either. I think it is the state of humanity to want to improve, to want to be better, to try to strive. But I also think in the society that we have built, not everyone is going to be top notch. Not everyone is going to reach their dreams. They're not going to. Not everyone can be a winner. Not everyone can be the queen. Not everyone can be the king. There's only so much success to go around. So I get their point. I do understand it. I appreciate it to a certain extent. But I don't think we should give up. I think we should, strive to always do better. This one says, on Reddit, I am a Christian feminist who supports gun control and disapproves of sex with drunk women. Okay. The hijab and other religious clothing is oppressive and offensive, not cultural. Well, no, they're not cultural, because if it's a religious thing, religion is not a culture, it's a philosophy. So you're just kind of wrong in lots of ways. You can't just chop off your penis and be a woman. Oh my. All musicals are just awful. Oh wow. I don't know. I mean, Sound of Music is still pretty awesome. Mary Poppins is pretty awesome too. Maybe I just have a thing for Julie Andrews because she's so awesome. Of course, that dance sequence in with Christopher Plummer and Sound of Music is still one of the most romantic things I've ever seen. It really is. Sorry, but it is. Throwaway. Obvious reasons. I am a developmental psychologist specializing in child family assessment. I'm telling you that because if I admitted this, I would be fired. Ooh, it sounds juicy. I don't think exposure to sexuality is harmful to people at any age. Fucking read this part. Abuse, rape, coercion, and molestation are all harmful. This is not an excuse for child molesters to excuse themselves. Those things are harmful at any age. Sexuality on its own does not cause psychological harm, in my opinion. If it was somehow possible for an adult and a child to be on the same page about it, I think that would be fine. Fucking read this part also. I do not think it is possible for an adult and child to be on the same page. Most healthy children view sexuality as being a funny part of their existence. A lot of them are really curious about it. A lot of them masturbate and try experimenting with others. Adults are probably not capable of being that innocent. That's why when adults do sexual things with children, it's harmful. Not because of the sexuality, but because of the relationship dynamic and the difference in intentions. I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot pole. Just leaving that one there. I don't think gay couples should be allowed to adopt children, and only because I believe it will open the child up to a bully avalanche. No other reason. Okay, that's an opinion. That an individual's life is not important. I don't know anyone who thinks, okay. It's not selfish to kill yourself. Your life is the only thing in this world that is yours, and other people shouldn't be allowed to say whether or not you can keep it. I don't know why they want to kill themselves, and you probably can't help. For most people, being told to keep alive for other people than themselves is the most crushing thing. Okay. All right. Weed is harmful and shouldn't be taken so lightly just because it isn't as bad for you as other drugs. All right. Guns are entirely unnecessary unless you are a farmer shooting vermin, or a cop, or a soldier. Someone replies with, lots of things are unnecessary. That doesn't mean we should ban them, if that's what you're saying. Oh, God. I think we should practice the happy side of eugenics. Happy side. Encourage people with good genes to reproduce. Pay people with good genes to donate to sperm banks. Dark side. Murdering people with bad genes. Let's stay away from that. Yeah. Okay. I think having a child should be a licensed activity. I would strip the license from junkies, tweakers, welfare recipients, and families with 3 or more kids. The world needs a lot fewer people than there is now. Minimum wage jobs were never meant to support you or your family. People need to stop complaining that they can't afford their car, smartphone, tablet, 4 kids, etc., while their only skill is flipping burgers. The fact that people stay in these jobs their whole life shows they don't care enough to better themselves or should be compensated accordingly. Genetic deformities and severe allergies like peanut and shellfish should be allowed to exit the gene pool, therefore making us stronger as a species. Wow. There's some opinions here. Oh, this one says I actually like olives. Okay, I do too, honestly. But Archer is pretty boring, and Reddit overuses the jokes from it too much. I've never even watched Archer. It's like a cool show. Not everything needs a cure or a parade or a walk. People die off to maintain a healthy equilibrium on the planet that we're slowly killing. God, I sound so cold-hearted and terrible and probably hypocritical, as there is a good chance someone I love will have a disease one day that I want cured. That's usually the way it happens. It's only personal to you when it happens to you. Human condition, baby. I'd rather have a bean burrito for $1 at Taco Bell than a more expensive Chipotle burrito. What is with Chipotle? I have never eaten there. Someone's going to have to tell me. Monogamy is a social crutch for emotionally stunted people. Also, yes, marriage has historically primarily been about oppressing women. Okay. Okay. I really don't get the super patriotism over our troops overseas. Don't get me wrong, it's a fucking hard job that I definitely couldn't do. There are definitely some heroes out there, but every guy I personally knew that goes into the military went into it because they had no other options. They dropped out of school, which was actually thrown out for violent behavior, and went into an army as a last resort. They walk around with a huge sense of entitlement despite having never even completed their basic training. They call everyone they know civvy, like condescending twats, and every other person is inferior because they aren't risking their lives for freedom. Mate, you aren't going doing shit for my freedom at your base camp in Sutherland. They also suddenly become horrible racist fucks and talk about how they can't wait for school ragheads. I know these guys are only young, and after a few years of actual work out there, they will be very different, but it makes it hard to respect the troops when they are essentially juvenile fucktwits. This person has a very strong opinion, and obviously a very skewed experience. Yeah, I can't agree with most of that. Don't get married until you get a ring. It doesn't have to be the biggest, most expensive ring someone can afford. The ring represents your commitment to each other. If your partner isn't willing to get a ring, what else are they not willing to do? See, I didn't get a ring when I got married. One, I'm allergic to metal. I couldn't wear one. I got my husband one years and years and years later. And then I got my husband's initials tattooed on my finger because I'm allergic to metal. So I don't think that's that big of a deal. He did get me a Lord of the Rings ring, though. I can't wear it, and it's on, obviously on the chain because I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. And that's what my wedding ring actually is, but it's safely, placed away. But that's not that good advice. There's exceptions to pretty much every rule, and yeah. I enjoyed The Last Airbender. I hate Avatar. Okay? That money is causing all sorts of problems for human beings. Money is a system we completely made up, yet it is seen the most important commodity. I think that we are all smart enough to figure out a way to conduct ourselves in a way that doesn't destroy the planet, that doesn't separate us. It is literally impossible for everyone to be equal with our current monetary system. You are literally trading moments of your life for paper to give to other people so that they can have your basic needs met. Okay. All right, we'll do a few more and then we'll end this video because there's only so much you can say with unpopular opinions. Okay, don't downvote unpopular opinions. It's the point of the thread. That's yeah. Yeah. I really don't go around downvoting anything, so I think that any kind of religion should be outlawed and punished by death. Why? Because it's not doing actually any good and is actually doing harm to the world and to humans. Again, a very skewed view. Who hurt you? If you are male, short, below 5'6", aren't attracted to very overweight women and non-white, don't bother trying online dating. Oh, man. This person says, I don't like quilted toilet paper. I want something with a little grit to really get in there and do the job. Okay. Well. Wow. I don't know what to say to that one. All right, last one. I don't believe in divorce. Whenever I say this, someone has to chime in about their squabbling parents who stayed married, how miserable it was, etc. I still don't think it's a solution. If divorce is an option in your mind, if this goes south, then we'll divorce, then I don't think you ought to marry. Okay. You know, if you're only going to do it once kind of thing. Again, there's exceptions to almost every rule, and that's a very unpopular opinion, I imagine. I don't know that many people that are divorced. And truth is, I know a lot of people who have gotten divorced and then get back together. So I don't really consider that. It's kind of a weird little thing there. But anyway, that is the video. I hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble and make fun of stuff. Please like, share, subscribe, comment if you don't mind. And we'll see you in another video. Bye.